Good evening for the second time, ladies and gentlemen. I do need to show you this particular channel that I drew, and it's almost picture perfect. So I want to walk people through this a little bit. Forget the internals for now. So this is a large channel, a very geometrical one. Okay. If you look at it, a large channel starting all the way from 2011 on the E-minis. That's roughly about 2017 or so on the S&P 500, and that's back in that was back on the 17th of September. Wow, only 2 weeks ago, and it seems just a world away. So what I did yesterday was, anyway, this chart I've shown a couple of times, but I just want to walk people through it. So this large wide-bodied channel. Here is your 917. This is not 917. What am I talking about? This is the end of September. Um, One second. I just need to look at the date up there so I know what I'm talking about. So this is Tuesday. Okay, this is Tuesday. Um, and I drew some channels here. All right. And these are very precise. I want people to focus on them a little bit. This was the methodical robotic sell, the European selling that hit us, okay, today. Um, and then we went through that and we came to the lower end of the Darvas. Now these channels are important because if we enter 1923 or so, and we attempted an entry tonight, actually in the past hour, if we entered this here, not that hard to see, let me get the drawing tool, then you were back inside the channel, back inside this channel, right? So that opens up the possibility after we cross the Bollinger and the acceleration band at the 1933 level on the minis. So that's again around 1940 on the S&P 500. It's a possibility that we move to the upper end of the channel. My gut feeling is that if we don't have a colossal failure at the 1900 E-minis, okay, that means this is a downtrend line, right? The upper end of the channel. If we don't break down here and fall below the Darvas box, at that point we're going to cascade all the way down to around the 1860 level or 1867 on the S&P SPX. If this doesn't happen, if this scenario doesn't happen, there's a good possibility that we entered this channel and we barge forward. My opinion is, based on what I see, that after we have a quick reset, resets have to happen. Whether it happens in an hour or whether it happens in 3 hours, I don't care. It has to happen. This is an hourly chart we're looking at, where we're talking about the reset. I'll show you the 4-hour chart in a second. So if this doesn't happen, then we are going to enter this channel and we're going to hit the top. Keep in mind that overnight, when futures were up more than 11 points or 17 points, whatever it was, guess what the market did? And this is why I say that a lot of the stuff happens overnight that are completely out of our control unless you're a futures trader. Okay, so what happened here? We went just the way I'd drawn the channel yesterday, the day before. We went to the top of the channel. We skidded around here a bit till about the wee hours of the morning, and then came this, and we fell out of it. The Darvas box supported any further fall, which was good. Another thing to look at, if you notice, this is and I've shown this is sort of a double bottom. This is a dragon bullish type of pattern, zigzagging its way up. I thought after this opening we would probably hit the upper end of the channel. That didn't happen, right? They saved it for another day. So the point is that this is a double bottom. That's good. So the point is that if we this can be a consolidation channel. That's how I showed it in one of my charts, which was very clear. Profit taking, consolidation, the robotic selling, whatever you call it, because that's quite a move, right, from here. So there were profit takers here, and then we moved up. If failure to enter this channel would bring us down to test the 1900 again on the minis, that I'm almost convinced about. Because on one of my other charts on the S&P 500, it was just fantastic how it came down. Oh, that's on the Algo HFT chart, which I posted. We came down and tested the downtrend line, and we bounced off that to the penny. It's incredible how these charts are, but most importantly, the lines I'm drawing on them. So overall, a bullish pattern. Overall, a bullish pattern. However, if you look at this V-shaped recovery, that's really what happened here, right? The V-shape ends at 1930. Once we hit the 1930 level, we are going to create a handle, a consolidation channel again, which is going to bring us down to meet the 34, the rising 34 and the 50-day moving average. So that should be a good 100 points down, just for no other reason other than resets. And then we should move higher. So this is overall a bullish pattern. However, we do need to enter this channel and we need to enter it quickly. All right. Otherwise, if we break this, then we're talking about a lot of pain for the longs again. Now let's take a look at the 4-hour. If you look at the 4-hour chart here on the same picture, the bars are more, we don't have that many bars because it's a 4-hour chart. It's a 240-minute chart. And you can see here that it's looking good. This line here is the 5-day moving average. It's supporting its way up. This is your 34-day moving average. This is the 50. I'm sorry, this is the 50. So all kinds of stuff's going on, right? Let's look at the internals. The internals are a little bit tricky, and internals have become trickier to read, and that's why you guys need me more than anything else, is the fact that these internals are not that clean to read anymore. This one, which looks like, oh yeah, we're going to get overbought here. Well, what about if we just turn from here down? All of a sudden, that $5 move you're seeing on Netflix disappears in 3 minutes. Okay? And I can only move as quickly as possible to alert people because a lot of the times I don't know what the next algo move is going to be, the HFT program that's going to hit the tape. There's many ways that we look at things. Our good, terrific trader and member, Ragar, he looks at ticks, all kinds of stuff. I look at a slew of different things that I post out there, but you can't do a blow by blow, minute by minute thing. You got to look at your own screens, which reminds me, every one of you guys and girls got to look at your own screens and have at least one platform that mimics one of the platforms that I use, whether it be TradingView, Thinkorswim, whether it be free stock charts, I don't care, but one of them has to match. So the 4-hour chart here, and if it doesn't, believe me, you're not going to win in this game. I'm just letting you know. So at this point, again, channel entry is critical, and that's over 1927 on the E-minis. If I put the SPX up here, and this is a 4-hour chart, it's looking pretty damn good. I would say that if this rising move here, we're looking, wow, we're looking at 1980. Once we enter this channel in force, of course, we got to cross the highway. The highway is 1943 and 1947. That's a 50 and the 34-day moving average. Right now, if you notice, we hit the middle of the Bollinger right here, and we sat. But this is definitively bullish. And we have a little bit more to go on the upside to get overbought. We can stay overbought. You can have multiple days like that. So overall, this nice consolidation day, which I showed yesterday was a consolidation day, and I was right. Looks as a big red candle, doji, but it was a pure consolidation day, and I showed that in one of my charts. Let me pull up. Let me see if I can fit this in. Can I fit it in? Okay, let me see here. All right. So I guess this is TradingView's chat room, whatever. Ignore that. So we got, let me take a 1 hour here. And this chart is so easy to read. So upper end of the Bollinger, you're looking at 193. Okay, so you got about 1930 right there. Overall, this is looking good. Strong RSI. That's why this never corrected down here, which is really good. Okay, for on the bullish count. This could have come down here, and we could have fallen on this move all the way down and close the lower gap at 188, 189 and move from here, but it didn't do that, right? Let me change the color on this thing. So that's a good sign. You got, this shows strong RSI. The market supported itself. It moved from midway. So reading these are key. This is an hourly chart. So upper end of the Bollinger right there. Very simple reads. There's a gap fill. I showed this earlier too. We filled the gap. We kind of held it right there. Now, is it possible that we move up overnight towards this, complete the cycle, and by the time you wake up and you want to trade like, wow, it's going to be a great day, guess what? They're going to reset. Because overnight, the futures can push the SPYs up here, test it. They don't have to wait till the morning. They'll probably do it overnight. Futures are up about 250 right now. So they move up here. You think, wow, this is great. It's a great time to pile in. And the next thing you know, in 20 minutes, for whatever reason, and tomorrow's the big jobs day data, as if the markets care what the job numbers are. So you're overbought. You don't want to be pushing your luck because whatever you buy, boom, you see it just evaporate. So I'll be there to obviously help people as much as possible on that side. Now, looking at, what did I do? Looking at, let's take a look at the IWM. Actually, I'd rather look at the QQQ because that's where the tech guys are. Same old story, same pattern. Okay, same pattern. If we go back a little bit and look at the 4-hour, then we are looking at some good news because the 4-hour is telling us that we are moving nicely. I've shown all this and we're going to move up. Is it possible that we're going to do this a little bit? Yes. Is it possible that we come back and test the 98? We want that to happen. That won't feel good because that means you're going to have another bad day in the NASDAQ. You're talking about 10, 15 point down on a bunch of those big stocks. What we do need to do is move out of the middle Bollinger. Okay. And basically close this gap. So up towards 105. That means Apple would be up $2. Amazon's heading towards 530. And, all the usual suspects, the good ones, move nicely. So that's the QQQ for you. Just telling you in plain English. So the Bollinger is important. You want to look where it's heading. This is the best way to see it. Then finally, I'm going to show you I will show you the IWM. The Russell 2000 ETF. And this one is just starting to wake up on the 4-hour, which I like. From a bullish perspective, this is certainly nice. It's not overbought. It's got a lot of room to move here, and you can just you can bet your dollar that it's going to just go like this. It's not. Is it going to go just in a straight line and just break up like that? Yeah, if there are strong numbers from out of China for whatever reason, believe me, they will. So this has a lot of potential as long as the 107 holds. Okay, so we have a good, our good trader, KG, trades Russell futures. If you have questions, ask him in the chat room. He's going to be giving some future sessions shortly. We're planning that. So lots of good stuff coming your way. So the IWM looks pretty good. We got a gap fill here, which I believe will happen. But first, we got to move up. We need the Bollingers to turn, and we need to cross over this 112 line. That's it for tonight. Thank you for listening.